Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. I'm joined with my partner in crime, as always, Dylan over at Net Press. Dylan, I know you wanted to celebrate yesterday's big win. Oh, Pete's here, and Pete's here. I was going to say Pete's going to join us too, but Pete's already joining us. Pete, I know Dylan's going to be over the roof. Dylan over at Nets Press. I know he's going to be over the roof with yesterday's win, finally getting off the skid there. Ending a 4-game losing streak, was it? 4 games, right? Give me your thoughts. Pete, first, the little commercial. Tell us what you got going on. Tell us about your interview with Kenny Anderson, and let me get your comments on the game. Pete?
Pete's got some mic issues at the moment.
You got some mic issues, Pete? All right. We'll get back to Pete in a second. Dylan, I know you're super excited for yesterday's win. Go ahead. Go cook them, and we'll try to get Pete reconnected. Yeah,
I'm not excessively angry. Like, realistically, we are 2-11. It's the simple fact that you have a head coach who is not buying into the development of our young players. There's no reason that Yegor Zhomin is not playing the entire fourth quarter in that game. This happened with Cam Johnson last year, which is why I was a big hater on him. And also, again, for a second time in the past 2 episodes, look who was right about that. The guy sucks. Same thing with Tyrese Martin. I don't give a shit if he's dropping 20 points. He's 26 years old. Somebody came at me on Twitter yesterday and had mentioned, Joe Harris was 27 when he got to the Nets. And I was like, okay, that's great. I'm glad that we're going to compare a guy who was solid during a rebuild and shit himself when the time came right for us to compete and single-handedly ruin us a playoff series. I don't care about that comparison. That doesn't mean anything to me. And the fact that Tyrese Martin is still getting damn near double the amount of minutes and the important minutes of a game compared to the 8th overall pick is pathetic to me. So Jordy's either got to get with the program and really develop this youth group that he has, or he needs to get the fuck out. And I'm going to make it point blank, and I mean it too. It's like there's no reason for him not to be playing the young guys. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him not to play the young guys. Drake Powell, Yegor, Danny Wolf. Those 3 should be seeing 20-plus minutes a night minimum. Yegor should be seeing 28-plus a night minimum. So
I want to touch on
gotta
something you just said and draw a little analogy. There was a famous fight. It was Tim Bradley and Ruslan Provodnikov, and Tim Bradley was trained by Joel Diaz at the time. And Bradley's a much better athlete, a much better boxer, right? And he's sitting in the pocket, trading with Provodnikov in the mid range, right? And Joel Diaz just screams at him, "Stop doing that! Get on your back foot, use the ring, or I'm stopping the fight." It's like, all right, well, you better stop the fight then, because he's not going to do that, right? Like, this fight is going down in a phone booth from here till whenever it ends. And you said Jordy has to get on plan with the rest of the program or be fired. Well, you're going to have to fire him then, because he's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's evident he's not going to play the rookies. He's not interested in developing the rookie. He's interested in one thing: winning today's basketball game. So, like, are you serious? Like, when Joel Diaz said that to Tim Bradley, it was an empty threat. Do you actually want to fire him? I'm asking a serious question. Do you actually want to fire him if he continues to coach like this? Dylan.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, there is one goal in mind right now, which is to get the best pick possible and build an OKC style rebuild. And if he's going to prevent that, then you need to get him out. You need to have people bought into what you're doing. Joe Tsai said we're tanking this year. Sean Marks has clearly made moves to solidify us tanking this year. If you can't walk into a game against the worst team in basketball who's tied with you to be the worst team in basketball, and you go out and you play vets over your rookies, that's a disgrace. That's a shit move.
Peter, I want to bring you in. First, do a little shout out. The interview with Kenny Anderson, one of my 2 all-time favorite Nets.
Awesome interview, by the way.
Right. Awesome interview. Kenny Anderson is the reason why I'm a Nets fan. Talk about that. Do a little plug for that, and then give me your thoughts on yesterday's game.
Gotcha. I sound good now, though. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay. You guys know I do a podcast, Net Fans You Know. You can check that out on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter, Net Fans You Know. And like they just said, I was very lucky enough to get an interview with Nets All-Star Kenny Anderson, played in the 90s with Drazen Petrovic, Chuck Daly, all that good stuff. I got to ask him a lot of questions that a lot of people haven't gone to ask him because they go and do the same boring routine of asking the same questions. I thought I did a pretty good job. And thank you guys for giving me a little praise there. If you guys want to check it out on YouTube, Net Fans You Know. And
apologies for interrupting. I'm not sure if everybody saw the Brooklyn Nets have recalled up Ben Surratt, Nolan Troyer, and Danny Wolf. So they'll probably get sent back down in 3 hours, but just wanted to share that with you guys.
Shout out.
Isn't Surratt hurt anyway?
He is, yeah. 10. So he's gonna miss a minimum of 10 days. Sprained ankle. He's all right though. So nothing too serious. I would assume they probably take some precaution and make it 2 weeks until he's back on the floor, but definitely better than what some had expected with the way that he had turned his ankle.
Pete, I want to get back to you real quick. First of all, how was Kenny Anderson? What was he like? Give us a little breakdown. He seems like a great guy. But how is Kenny?
Oh yeah, it's a super, super nice guy, very down to earth. You know, he played in the All-Star game. He was voted All-Star starter with Derek Coleman. I talked to him about that. He had that very bad injury against the Knicks for that 1 year. It looked like we had the big three of
John
Derek Coleman.
John Starks.
Yeah, I asked him about that. I asked him about Cam Thomas. He was not too happy about that, but I was able to get something out of there. I don't want to bore the audience with that. If they want to check it out, they can check it out after this. I even wrote down like timestamps, so if you don't want to watch the whole episode, you can look for certain topics. I talked to him about current Nets, Cam Thomas, the roster, the rookies, and then his playing career. But I want to talk about Jordy now. Because Dylan,
guys, do listen to the whole interview. The interview is great, Pete. Shout out for the I wanted to let you say that. It's a great interview. Guys, do watch the whole interview. But go ahead, get on to Jordy now.
You know, subscribers and likes, all that good stuff. Comments is all accepted on the video, of course. But back to Jordy. I hear what you're saying, Dylan, but this guy was hired to get wins, right? So it's like for everything to work out to get this team winning, of course, it's so easy to say, okay, let's just lose every game. But this guy is a competitive guy. He was brought in to be competitive. So it's like, then why did you even hire him? And understand the circumstances might have been different when you hired him, but we're here now. You want the young players competing, right? And this is part of it, unfortunately. You might sneak in a win here or there, but I think it'd be crazy to let him go. But I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's not so much the wins that are frustrating me because we're, like I said, we have 2 wins, but we're doing fine. We're actually doing really good for tanking. It's just you also have 3 teams this year who are dog shit or purposely losing, and it's ruining what we're trying to do. But it's more so the fact that we can all mutually agree that Tyrese Martin does not deserve more minutes than Yegor Zhomin in a game, correct?
And he's not even better than Drake Powell. Like, I know he had a big game. Drake Powell is better at basketball already at 12 years old or whatever Drake Powell is than 20. He is. Drake Powell's really good. Like, somebody was asking me about the rookies. I said they're all questions mark except for Drake Powell.
Drake Powell, as of right now, is our best defender.
He's a good basketball player. He can shoot and he can defend. He's got a career in the NBA, a good career. Period. End of sentence.
Shout out Evan too in the comments, my guy.
What up, Evan? But I want to just because I see this both ways. And I compare everything in life to boxing because it's the only thing I know in life, right? Pete is right. Jordy was not hired to lose games. He was not hired to tank. He was not. He was hired they were going to get another all-star, borderline all-star, put him with mid-cal, and they were going to try to compete. That was the plan when he got there. Then, I don't know, it was like 5 minutes after he gets hired, they trade Bridges, and then obviously the whole plan changes. But like if I'm Jordy, I got hired under the pretense that I'm going to win games, and that's what I'm going to do. I understand that argument. But I also understand the argument. If the fight's not going well and you're losing every round, you have to do something different. The Nets the fight's not going well for the Nets, right? Like, we're not going to compete with this roster. We all know that. So you have to do something else. And that something else is playing the rookies and developing for the future. Like, Jordy's job here is safe. Like, if you said to me, which person on this in the Nets organization is probably here the longest, my answer is probably Jordy. Right? Like, we love you. You're doing your job well, but we need to play the rookies. It doesn't matter. I understand both arguments. I understand Pete's argument, but with Jordy's doing the job he was hired to do. But that job changed. The description changed because the fight wasn't going as planned. So now we have this new fight plan, which is play all the rookies. And I'm not saying lose games. I'm not saying try to lose games. I'm trying to win games, but try to win them with playing Ben Saraf 30 minutes.
Listen, if Yegor Zoman drops 27 points and plays 32 minutes and you beat the Wizards by, however much, you'll see me perfectly fine with it. Same thing if you beat a really good team that you shouldn't have beaten. But if Drake Powell gives you 20 and Yegor gives you 20 and 10, I'm fine with that. But you've got to play your young guys, and you also have to get them in a position to where they're developed enough to be able to win by next year. And they're not doing that right now.
I think, Pete, I'm going to ask you, if we were running the ship, if I made you judge, juror, and executioner of the Brooklyn Nets, you can run this thing however you want. You would play the rookies 30 minutes a game, right? You would develop the rookies, would you not?
Yeah, I would develop the rookies. And I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here, right? How do we know that the plan isn't to play the rookies? Don't get me wrong. I get frustrated when I see Terrence Mann playing all these minutes. When I see Martin playing all these minutes, but I could see a game plan of them saying, listen, a lot of these guys are still 19 years old. They looked overmatched. You don't want them to get like their confidence bottomed out. They have to get better physically. Maybe you get them to get some minutes in Long Island. They get stronger. They get used to the speed of the game. And I'm waiting to see what happens after the All-Star break. If after the All-Star break we're doing the same thing, then absolutely, you get all the criticism in the world. But I have a feeling we're going to see some changes by then.
So, okay, maybe. What makes you could be right. What makes you think that? They haven't tried, go ahead. What makes you think that?
Just at the history of the Nets in general under Sean Marks, whether it's Atkinson or Steve Nash, we've always seen the veterans kind of, even if teams competing or not competing, the vets, I guess you can even say this, most NBA teams, unless you're a top 5 pick, you're going to see the vets get the minutes early. And then as the season goes on and they get eliminated or they see that the season's a bust, you see the young guys getting more and more minutes as time goes on. Last season, they did it also a bit very late. They probably should have done it a lot earlier. Hopefully this year they do that a lot earlier.
Pete, I want to ask you 2 questions, right? We've been talking about trading Claxton since he signed that contract. Claxton's playing well. He's playing well.
I was going to say, I can pull up his stats for you real quick if you want.
Yeah, could you? While you did it, let me ask you this question: Claxton and Porter Jr. Pete, let me get your take on this. Are these guys probably want to keep now? Like, keep these guys and let them be a part of the rebuild, or are you still looking to trade those guys? I mean, it's a lot of money. It's $65 million in salary or whatever it is. You know, those guys you want to trade, you say, like, we're going to need pieces, and these guys are pieces that we can build with.
Do we know if the Nets even want to really trade them? Right? Well, I would assume maybe, possibly. Michael Porter Jr., I think if you could move up the contract without adding any more years, I think you do that pretty easily. I think Claxton may be the only one with value out of those two, right? Michael Porter Jr. could go on the Wizards and put up similar numbers, I think. This is more about him getting the shots off and him being the number 1 option on a team that sucks, right?
I actually disagree.
He could be a number 2 option. He could be a number 2 option on a good team. He's incredible. Like, he's better. I had high expectations for him. He's better than I thought. Offensively. Defensively, it's got some challenges. I agree.
Look at him in Denver. Did I say more?
Yeah, I thought they were maxing him out. Like, he's having career years because he's playing with Joker. He's a 3rd option, maybe. He's a 3rd option there. He's a really, really good offensive player.
It's the contract, guys. It's the contract. That's the issue.
Let me ask you this, Pete. Who's a better basketball player? Michael Porter Jr. or Mikal Bridges? I have to do one Bridges reference every day. Who's better at basketball?
Are we taking the contracts out of it and you're saying pure talent?
I'm just asking a question. Who's better basketball player, Bridges or Porter? Michael Porter Jr.?
it's obvious that Michael Porter Jr. is the better scorer, right?
Yeah.
Bridges is probably better defensively.
MPJ is the better rebounder. I would say they're both on the same level as playmakers currently.
Porter Jr. is the better basketball player. I don't feel like this is a brain buster. Porter's better than Bridges, right?
I don't see it like that because the defense from Michael Porter Jr. is pretty bad, and that kind of drags it down.
Not good.
But okay, let's talk about impact, right? If I had one game, I need a great game for one player in that one game. I'm probably picking Michael Porter Jr. I am.
Let me ask you a question. There's four of us. We need one more. It's me, Dylan, you, and Breezy, and we need a fifth. And standing against the fence is Michael Porter Jr. and Mikal Bridges. Who are you taking as your fifth?
And what? It's such a wild question.
It's me, you, Dylan, and Breezy, the four of us. And then there's two guys that you can pick from: Porter Jr. and Bridges. Who are you taking?
This is going to be the boring answer, but I used to coach. I'm going to say, what do you need more, defense or offense? But you're going to just say, you want me to take Michael Porter Jr.
Well, so let me jump in here for a second though, because I think
my argument here, Pete.
I think what MPJ is doing right now is actually being viewed as a bit under the radar. Not many people are talking about this. He's averaging 27.3 points in his last 6 games, 7.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists. This season alone, he has career highs, so far at least, in points per game. He's at 24.1. His previous was 18.2. His rebounds right now is at 7.8. His previous is at 7.3. And his assists per game are at 3.3. His previous is at 2.1. His shooting percentage from the free throw line has also increased for a career high at 85.2. I think when you look at what he's doing right now, he should be in discussions for most improved player of the year. I also think that there is a real chance that he should be considered as an all-star this year.
I was going to ask that question.
What he's doing currently is what people thought Mikal Bridges could do here long term, which he couldn't, of course. So when you're looking at what MPJ is doing, I don't want to trade him. Unless if you're getting 2 or 3 first-round picks for him, I think that you don't move him whatsoever. Because I also don't view him as a guy who's going to get another $40 million contract, right?
Maybe. I said that when we signed him.
If you can get him for around 25 to 30, I'm bringing him back all day long. I think he's the perfect second or third option piece for when the time comes to contend. He'll be 29 years old, 30 years old almost once his contract is up. I think that's the perfect age for a guy that you want as a vet presence and a guy who can also do what he's doing currently, which is putting up 24 plus per game with ease. So to me, and Breezy's not going to like this one, but I do think Michael Porter Jr. is the Cam Thomas replacement. For years, we as a fan base have been wanting to see Cam Thomas improve as a playmaker, improve as a rebounder, and improve as a defender, right? MPJ has shown that he can hit tough shots similar to what Cam Thomas can do. MPJ has shown that he can go off and be extremely efficient, something that Cam Thomas has struggled with, right? He can go off for points, but a lot of the times he's not going to be too efficient. MPJ has also shown this season alone through 11 games played, because he did miss a game, that he is a better playmaker and has already improved his playmaking tremendously compared to what Cam Thomas has been trying to do the past 2 years since being given a real role, right? So I think MPJ is the Cam Thomas replacement. I think whether the Nets look to trade Cam Thomas or let him walk in free agency, that they have found his replacement, because this is a guy who can score at will. He can hit tough shots. He's clutch. He can rebound, and he's already showing tremendous improvement as a playmaker, putting up 7 assists in back-to-back games, 7 of which is his career high now. I think that he is really taking the leap here in Brooklyn.
I gotta make an argument over here. His usage rate is up 9%. He's taking 5 more shots a game from the field. There's a reason why his stats are going up. His actual field goal percentage and 3-point percentage are the worst of his career. But 21-22, he played 9 games. That's the only season where he had worse numbers. It's not craziness. You take more shots, you're going to score more.
Hang on, Pete. He's still extreme. He's still scoring. Yes. Is he going to be as efficient as when he was in Denver, which is the absolute ideal situation? Is he going to be as efficient now as he was then? He was one of the most efficient. He was more efficient than Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson and those guys when he was in Denver. Like, look at his efficiency numbers. They're off the charts. He's not going to be that efficient. Dylan's point is he's still a very efficient scorer.
I don't think that MPJ should be your number 1 option long term by any means necessary. But can he be the number 2 next year if you are to bring in a top 5 pick? Yes. Can he be a number 3 option 2-3 years from now, when we have a roster that's built to contend, yes. I think that if he can give you 20 plus per game, 7 plus rebounds per game, 4 plus assists per game, that's the guy that you want here long term. And that's something that Cam Johnson wasn't able to prove when we were in the midst of trying to push for play-in tournaments. That wasn't something that Mikal Bridges was able to prove when the time came for him to be the number one option here. That's not something that Cam Thomas has been able to prove in the 2 years that he's had to be the number one option. So I think MPJ has really taken over and taken a leap that not many people really expected. I think people expected the scoring to go up, but to see that his playmaking has improved, that his rebounding has stayed consistent, especially with playing next to guys like Claxton, Clowney, I think that this is a guy that you really need to look to build around. He's still young.
Go ahead.
And he's showing that he's healthy.
My issue is this. Can you get him at 20 million, 25 million? And can you put up similar numbers at like the third option?
Yeah,
or second
20
option?
Probably not.
That's my issue.
The most I would give him is 32 per year. That's the most I would give him.
That's not bad.
But that's what I'm
just
saying.
Don't want to pay him 40 million.
I just want to put this out there. All right, Michael Porter Jr. Turned pro in what 18-19, right? So in that time, he's more efficient. He's a more efficient scorer, higher EFG than Kevin Durant, who's like the most efficient scorer ever for a shooter. Like what I'm saying, that's a factual statement. What I just made, his scoring efficiency is through the roof. It was like one of the best ever. Did you really think he was going to keep that kind of efficiency up, Pete, or do you think it would dip a little bit coming off that situation?
You made like a good statement there about KD, but then KD is also the first option on every team basically that he's been on, except for the Golden State, right? So I'm not saying he's the first third option to a first option.
But he's a second, right? What I'm saying was obviously my point was obviously his efficiency, his effective field goal percentage was going to come down a little bit because Kevin Durant, who's the greatest, most efficient scorer I've ever seen, wasn't as efficient as Michael Porter. Yes, obviously, my point is obviously as a first option, Porter Jr.'s efficiency is going to come down, right? Like, but where is efficiency right now? He's scoring at an efficiency level that Kyrie Irving scores at, that Jalen Brunson scores at, that Lucas scores at. Like, that's the efficiency that he's scoring at. It's really, really impressive, Pete.
It's good. I think my point of this is, one, the contract number, because if I am paying him like 25 million, that changes everything to me, right? That's a big part of it. And can he put up these numbers when he's going to be a third option? Because we just said we probably don't want him to be our first option, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're asking for a third option player on your team to put up 27 a game, that's impossible, right?
Exactly.
So I don't think that that's a realistic expectation, but what he's showing so far as a first option, what makes us think that he can't be a second option, right? Because realistically, Jaegor's not going to be a guy that gives you 25 a game ever, right? You're with Jaegor, you're looking at somebody like Josh Giddey who can give you 18 to 20 a game, can give you 6 to 8 rebounds per game, can give you 7 to 9 assists per game. That's what you want out of Jaegor as his ceiling, right? And that to me is a third option. So to me, MPJ being your second option, a guy that can give you, Jaylen Brown 22 to 24 points per game, 7 to 8 rebounds per game, 3 to 4 assists per game. I think that there is the perfect situation for MPJ. And then, of course, hopefully if we're able to land a Boozer, a Peterson, a DeBansta, that'll be your long-term first option.
Can we just address this off topic? I want to get back to this, but I do like this question. Would you have traded Bridges for Anthony Simons and the third pick?
No, because at the time, that Scoot was the undeniable third overall pick. So I don't think the Nets would have made the right decision anyway. So I at the time, did it look good? Yes. But did anybody even expect Amen Thompson to be as good as he is? No. So I don't think that the Nets would have taken him at 3. They still probably would have taken Scoot. And Scoot, as of right now, he's not healthy. He hasn't had any progress in Portland. So no, I wouldn't have made that deal. I think the picks that we got are great. Would I have made the Knicks trade? Probably not. I would have probably preferred to just do a one-time deal with Houston where we got all of our picks back. Maybe we swap 1 or 2 of the Suns pick in that deal, but you also get to keep a little bit more rather than giving up more for your picks back. So I probably would have just done a full-on Rockets trade rather than splitting the trades apart with Houston and New York.
I think that's a fair take. Pete, would you have made this trade?
No.
And the third pick. Okay.
I agree with Dylan. Well, we don't know what Houston was offering for Bridges, but I guess I could agree that if there would be something like that, I would be interested in it. But overall, no. The third overall pick and getting Scoot would probably be a disaster if you think about it right now, if we would have done that in comparison to what we did get.
And Scoot hasn't really worked out, but well, Bridges is shooting the ball well this year, isn't he? He's shooting the ball a little better this year, I think.
I don't care about that. I care about just from our view of it. Bridges can win a chip. I don't really care. As long as
I'm pretty sure Bridges is putting
good...
up a career high in 3-point percentage right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 41%. Yeah, he's shooting the ball well this year.
Screw him.
But okay.
Yeah, 41.7% from three. That's his second best of his career.
Yeah, and he'll finish at 36%, right? Because that's what he is, right? Like we always regress to the means. My point though is you're living on Bridges, whose job is to sit in the corner and shoot threes, and sometimes they go in and sometimes they don't. So far early in the season, they've gone in for him. Like I don't know. Like I don't really. Lots of guys can do that. It doesn't really impress me much. I don't want to. I digress. I'm not gonna go after Bridges again. I've done that for 3 years now. Yeah, I at that time, if you're giving me the third pick, I probably would have made the trade. It's probably not the best value when I look at like what Dylan says. The Houston trade's probably better, but if you put the third pick in the draft in front of me, I probably would have jumped at it.
I mean, it's fair to say at the time, if you get the third pick, of course you're going to want that. But yeah, no, I'm okay with what we did. I think the Knicks offer is the better offer between that and the number 3 pick offer that was rumored to have been offered. But I actually think they already debunked that and mentioned that it wasn't actually ever offered. But even then, I still would have taken the Knicks one. Like I said, if I had the choice, though, I would have just done a one-time deal with the Rockets. I want my 2025, 26, 27 picks back. I'll give you the Suns 2027 and 2029. I want to keep their 2028. That's what I would have done.
That's probably a better pick.
And then I would have asked for Tari Eason, and you can have Mikal.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a better trade than what they got with the Knicks. With the Knicks, they got all the picks. The picks probably aren't going to be great. Until we get down the road.
I was going to say, up until 2030 and 2029, there's really nothing to look forward to with those Knicks picks. I would probably actually use the 2027 one to try and package that. Like, for instance, right, if OKC does land 2 top 10 picks, or let's just say 2 lottery picks, I would offer the Denver unprotected 2032, and I would offer the Knicks 2027 to try and move up to that second pick that they have. And this was something that I know we said that we wanted to talk about today, and not sure if you want to transition over to it now, but a lot of people were coming at me saying, that OKC is not going to trade any of these picks. I'm looking at their roster right now. They have 12 players. Let me get to that in a second.
I want to get to that in 1 second. I just want to make one more point. I want to land this plane on the Michael Porter Jr. thing, and I want you guys to say it. Michael Porter Jr. When the next guy was he'll never get a $40 million contract again. I'm not so sure about that. Michael Porter Jr., we just said, is the second option. A third best player on a title contending team gets $40 million. And that's why I kept saying Bridges. Bridges got near $40 million. Michael Porter Jr., in my estimation, is a far better basketball player than Mikal Bridges, who got $40 million. So why is it unreasonable to think that Michael Porter Jr. will again get $40 million in his next contract if he plays like this the next 2 years?
Health is the issue. Mikal Bridges has been healthy for the majority of his career. The whole Iron Man thing, there's value in that, right? This guy, Michael Porter Jr., has had back surgeries. So there's more of a risk. I think you pay for Bridges' Iron Man. Yeah, definitely.
Is there, though? Because if you look at MPJ's last 4 seasons, he's played 62 games, 62 of which he started, 81 games, 81 of which he started, 77 games, 77 of which he started. He's missed 1 game this year. He's played 12 games, and he's started all 12. I don't think the injuries are a concern anymore with MPJ. I think that he is healthy. I think that he is, in terms of his athleticism, is he what he was in high school? No. But is he healthy? Does he know how to handle his body and keep it healthy? I think so. So that the health concerns I'm not worried about anymore. He's shown for 3 straight seasons now heading into year 4 this year, that he's healthy. I don't think there's any issues with his health anymore.
You never know, man. This is how it works, right? You get the surgeries when you're younger, your body's okay, and then one
Yeah, but
day
look at Ben
you
Simmons.
just
You know,
fall
he
the
got the
roof.
surgery at what, 27, 28?
Exactly.
But that's my point, though, is
Everybody's different.
is a 3-year difference in terms of when they got the surgeries. That's not a lot on the body. Like, realistically, your body at 23 is very similar to what your body is at 27. So I don't think that Ben Simmons recovered properly from it. I also think that whoever his doctors was didn't do the best job. But with Michael Porter Jr., he had the time to recover. He wasn't rushed back into anything. His game wasn't fully built on athleticism. He was always a great shooter, right? So for him to be a spot-up third option shooter in Denver was perfect for him. And now he's showing that even though he doesn't have the same athleticism or first step that he used to have in high school, he's still able to knock down tough shots. So I don't think health for him is a concern for me anymore.
It's a long-term thing. These guys are playing 82 games a year, all the travel, and it could happen all at once. Maybe you're 100% right, Dylan. I have no idea. But you look at history and guys that have back surgeries, whether it's soon, later, or whenever, there's a chance that you have to keep that in the back of your mind. That's all.
No, definitely. By the way, too, just to let everybody know who's tank watching tonight, the Indiana Pacers do have Benedict Mathurin back. Andrew Nembhard is playing also, as well as Pascal Siakam. They're playing the Detroit Pistons, who are they're without Cade Cunningham tonight. So a possible Pacers win could be beneficial for us tonight. Zion Williamson is also back tonight for the Pelicans, but they're playing the Thunder, so I don't think they're going to beat them.
The Pacers, I get it. They're terrible. But when you look at their roster, they still got Siakam. They still have Nembhard. Like
they have a lot of injuries. Like John
do.
Furphy, Aaron Nesmith is now down.
John Furphy, like if you're losing, because John Furphy, really, like
Furphy as a depth piece is solid. Like realistically, Furphy as a depth piece is better than majority of Washington, Brooklyn, New Orleans, Utah's bench.
Their depth pieces are better than our starter. That's my point. It's like what?
Well, I wouldn't say John Furphy's better than any starter that we have in Brooklyn, but I wouldn't even say that he's better than any starter that Washington has. But I think as a depth piece, that he's definitely better than majority. Washington's got Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, Middleton, McCollum, and Bub Carrington. And then on the bench, you got like Trey Johnson.
Is he better than Noah Clowney?
No.
Noah Clowney does absolutely nothing. I'm not trying to
I wouldn't say that. Noah Clowney's having the best season of his career. The efficiency's low again, but again, that's something that can be worked on.
Yesterday, all of his shots, I think, you can fact check me, all the shots were 3-pointers again, right?
I'm not too
sure. He took
6
shots in 30 minutes, and they were all three.
Yeah, they were all.
He hit
a bunch. I was going to say, yeah, he was 4 of 6.
Okay, but that's my thing with Bridges. Like, okay, Monday they go in, great. Tuesday they don't, you're completely useless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what I was expecting with Clowney. I am.
Yeah, but Clowney has shown a ton of improvement this season overall as a guy who can put the ball on the floor and take contact and finish at the rim. He's shown numerous occasions of doing that this year. So I've seen the improvements from him. At this point now, it's going to come down to the efficiency. Can he become a more efficient scorer and take smarter shots? Again, Clowney isn't a guy that I've ever expected to be a full-time starter for us long-term. I never thought of him as a guy who's going to be a 30-plus minute a night type of guy. If he can be your backup 4, that's a great spot for him to be.
Yeah, that's just. I agree. That's not. Yeah, I agree.
Every
that's
player,
not what I
expected.
I was expecting.
Yeah. Every player you always want to be great, and you want them to be stars, and you want them to be starters. But realistically, you also need to find guys who are just going to be great bench pieces, like OKC, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, right? Lou Dort, Alex Caruso. Like, you need to have those guys on your team.
I thought when we got him that first year where he played at the end of the season, he played great. I thought we had a steal. I thought we had a gem there. I said, okay, that's our starting 4. Right.
Yeah, but think about it realistically.
He's not that.
Some great bench players are considered steals.
Agreed,
right?
Agreed.
Like TJ McConnell. I'm not sure where he was drafted in the draft, but for him to be your backup point guard is incredible.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Clowney, by the way, Clowney is 21, right? He's plenty of room to grow. 1 and 2. They got him with the 21st overall pick, right?
Yeah.
If he is like a good backup, I consider that a hit, especially as a stretch 4. That there's value. There's value there.
Yeah, you're right. I just thought we got a gem, right? Like we got a steal, like we got an impact player, and like he's not bad. I understand he has improved this year and stuff. I was just hopeful after that first little year from 23-24 that he was going to be more than that. And again, you're hoping against hope, right? He's the 21st pick in the draft. Tamper your expectations, but he's a quality player. I probably, it's expectation. I probably just like Saraf. Like you're expecting Saraf to be great. He's a 27th pick in the draft. Like, chill. Yeah. All right. I wanted to move Dylan. You were talking about trading up for a second lottery pick, a second top 10 pick. Obviously, OKC. I wanted you to get in on that, kind of inform everyone how that would look.
Yeah, like I was saying before, a lot of people were coming at me because I put out a trade proposal where OKC sends one of their lottery picks this year to Brooklyn. As of right now, OKC has 4 first-round picks. One of them is top 8 protected from the Jazz, so there's potential that goes back to Utah, right? But in the strange world where the Clippers stay within that 10 through 14 range come lottery night, where the Jazz get bailed out and they're the 9th overall pick and OKC gets to keep it. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm calling OKC. And like I said, some people were coming at me saying this isn't realistic, but I'm looking at their financials right now. This year, their payroll's $185.9 million. They're just under the second apron. Next year, it goes up to $245.2 million. The extensions for Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren come into play. The year following, in 2027, SGA's extension starts. So in terms of what they have currently financially, they're not able to bring in 5 new rookies. You also have to look at it this way, too. SGA, Hartenstein, Dort, Caruso, Holmgren, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, both Jalen Williams, Kenrich Williams, Cason Wallace, Nikola Topic, Thomas Sorber, and A.J. Mitchell. Those 12 players are under contract currently. So there's no possible way of them bringing in more than probably 1 or 2 rookies in terms of payroll. I think there is a real chance that Brooklyn can be the team to look into this type of trade simply based on the fact that, one, you really need 2 high upside prospects, and this is the year to do it again. A lot of us were talking about this last year. This year, it's serious. Like, you need to figure out a way to get a second first-round pick, specifically a lottery pick. And I would overpay to do it. The offer that I've mentioned numerous times is swapping our 2031 first-round pick with OKC, plus giving OKC the Denver 2032 unprotected first. Like, that's genuinely an offer that I would be all right with. At the end of the day, if you can pull off a top 5 pick and a secondary lottery pick in a class like this, I think in terms of tanking and rebuilding through the draft, I think you completed it. I think at that point now you're looking to improve the pieces on the roster with some veteran free agent signings, and then of course when the time comes to make a move for an all-star, whether that be through the 2027 free agency class or through the trade market. But at the end of the day, you have to start gearing towards being competitive this time next year because you don't own your own pick. And I think there is a real chance where OKC is going to be forced into moving some of those picks because they don't have the roster spots, nor do they have the cap space to bring in new contracts like that.
Pete, your thoughts?
I don't think it. Okay. We don't know if the Nets have a game plan here. And I'm not saying I want to tank forever or another 2 years. But if there is a game plan, just because we don't own our own pick, I don't think we should be like, you know what, we have to compete next year because of that. Whatever happens, happens. I think we should just be focusing on ourselves. It's already a sunk cost. And I want to go back to something Dylan said a while back about the Knicks picks. I was talking with someone who used to work on a team, used to work scouting for a team. And I was talking about the Knicks picks, right? Are there really going to be value here? And this is what he told me. It's not the value at the pick as you look at it right now. It's the perception of the pick. Next week, Jalen Brunson has a tear in his ACL. All of a sudden, the perception of those Knicks picks look a lot different. When we're trading picks in the future, we have to keep that in mind. Now, is that something like that going to happen? Who knows? But it's also, we have to keep in mind, yes, I agree with Dylan. I need a second lottery pick in this draft, in this upcoming draft. I need one.
how I'm looking at it right now. Sorry to cut you off. How I'm looking at it right now is that 2032 Nuggets pick is incredibly valuable, right? That's probably one of the 3 most valuable trade assets to have as of right now. We don't know what the 2032 draft class looks like, right? To me, and again, I'm hoping that you don't have to give up that swap pick that would be ours in 2031, because I do think that owning your own picks is very beneficial. But say it's the 2027 Knicks pick and the 2032 Denver pick unprotected for, let's just say, the 12th pick in the draft via the Clippers from OKC, right? I would do that in a heartbeat. I don't think by next year that New York is going to be out of the playoff picture, injured or not. I still think they're going to be a play-in, if not playoff team. But you also have to take some of these risks, especially when you know that this draft class, there's not going to be one like this for a little bit, right? 2027 isn't being looked at like this. 2028 isn't being looked at like this. 2029 isn't being looked at like this. So the next draft that you may see that could be labeled, quote unquote, generational, you're looking in the 2030s. And do we really want to hold on to some picks then to wait and see what those look like? And if we get lucky then, I think that you have to fully invest in this one. And I would make a very hefty offer to move up for a second lottery pick this year.
What's considered hefty?
I would say the 2027 Knicks pick unprotected, 2032 Nuggets pick unprotected, and our own 2031 top 10 protected. Like, that's the max that I would offer to move up to like
that
a
feels
pick
like
between.
A lot.
It is. I mean, that's the max I would offer. I would offer OKC for a pick between 9 through 14 for this upcoming draft, right? Because let's pull up what the potential picks could look like in that range. You're looking at guys like Tonda Yesifua, Koa Pete, right? Chris Sinak Jr., Jaden Quainance, Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, Dame Sarr, Nicholas Abdelas. Like, you've got names there that could be true second, third options on your team in terms of their ceiling. So to me, I think that there's no offer as of right now that I wouldn't go out and pursue to go and grab another lottery pick. That's how good this draft class is to me.
I think it depends who's available, but I will agree with you with this. Let's say, I'm just making this up right now. Let's say Mikal Brown Jr. winds up dropping for whatever reason, and all of a sudden we're at the 8th pick. We already got, I'm going to say, Boozer at 2, and we have an offer to us from another team that says, listen, we'll give you the 8th pick for what you just said. I would greatly consider that, and I might even do it. I just think it depends who's available when.
My dream scenario as of right now, if you want me to be honest, in terms of realistic opportunities, just knowing the Nets' history on draft night with our own pick, I'm not even going to say that we're more than likely to get a top 3 pick. Let's just say the Nets landed 4th, right? I'm taking Caleb Wilson. That to me is my new starting small forward or power forward. If I'm looking at the 10 through 14 range, I'm looking at Nicholas Abdelas. This is a 6'9" point guard who plays exactly like Luka Doncic, right? That to me is somebody who you can run the 1 through 3 with. Pair him next to Yegor, pair him next to Wilson, pair him next to MPJ. And you're now looking at 4 players in your starting 5 who are 6'7" and above. I think versatility in this league is important. I think guys who can be multidimensional and play, make, and defend and brings height, brings athleticism, brings IQ, brings scoring. I think all of these things matter. So to me, my biggest sleeper and the guy that I want to trade up for most is Abdelas. I'm not sure if a lot of you guys have had the opportunity to watch him yet, but if you didn't see his 33-point game where he had 6 rebounds, 7 assists, the way that he moves is exactly like Luka. And I'm not even trying to BS the comparison here. He has the same crossover. He has the same pace in terms of step back. He has a very similar vision. A lot of the details on Abdelas are comparison to Luka. And how his name isn't being mentioned in top 10 yet is out of my... I can't believe it. To me, this is a top 10 lock. So if he's somehow available between 10 through 14, that's the guy that I want to go and get.
I'm not. I know the name. I've seen him play once or twice.
You want to pull up his stats or you want to pull up the game real quick while we're here? Because this is the dude this is my biggest sleeper of the year. Like, this is my favorite personal pick in this draft.
Spell his name for me so I can find him real quick.
Neo KLIS.
I got him.
And then try to see where it's the 33-point game. If you can pull up those first few clips on that, you'll see exactly why I'm comparing him to Luka now.
Hang on.
B10. He's actually 6'9" listed right now. I'm not sure if that's his true height, but I saw multiple sites having him listed at 6'9". Yeah, they got him at 6'8 3/4.
The 33-point game was against Providence. Yeah,
I believe so.
Okay.
If you want to mute the volume on the video too, I'm not sure if that helps with monetization or not, but
whatever. All right. Highlight.
And I just saw that recent comment. I just want to pull up his stats as of the first few games of this season. As of right now at VT, he is averaging 16.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 6 assists. He has played about 4 games so far this season. The first game of the year wasn't. I don't even think that actually counted. Oh no, it does count towards their record. So yeah, rough game in game 1. He had 8 points, 9 assists. So when he wasn't scoring efficiently, he was playmaking. Game 2 of the season, he put up 33 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Game 3, he put up 14 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 50% from the field, 40% from 3. And then in his most recent game, he just had 10 points. So the flashes are there. I do think that he ends up as a lottery pick, though. If not, that's just crazy to me.
Can y'all see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
I see it.
I want to see if they pull up the exact... I may have to send you the link to the Twitter one just so I can see the exact clips from there. How long is this video?
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the Twitter one real quick. I'll send it to you. The Twitter one's a bit easier on the eye also. Let's see.
Yeah, and I was going to say, try to make it a little bit bigger for the people watching. They probably can't see it too well. There you go.
Shout out, Pete.
Here, I'm sending you the video right now. Let's see.
So, Dylan, talk about this guy so we don't got dead air.
I was gonna say I'm not even watching the video right now. I'm on Twitter on my computer trying to send him the link. Here, I just sent it to you. So if you want to pull that one up real quick.
I mean, he gets to the rim with ease. Stroke looks a little,
his shot looks similar to Luka, where it's very slow paced and he finishes high above his head, but it's just
that's what I was gonna say. It looks a little deliberate,
But I was gonna say, here, pull up the Twitter video real quick. This is one of the moves right here, right there. That step back and crossover. That looks exactly like Luka to me.
Did you send it to me on Twitter?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Twitter. Even that step back, that is the exact same pace of step back, maneuver, everything of Luka. Right. And again, you have a guy who's 6'8", potentially 6'9", has this level of IQ, has this level of shot making ability. It's just, this to me is going to be the biggest steal of the draft. Like, there's going to be a lot of conversations as to whether or not he can potentially overtake a guy to maybe be a top 8 pick. Like, as of right now, I don't want to get too early in on my big board because I'm still waiting on Fanspo to update their, what's it called? Their mock draft, so this way we can do mock drafts on there this year. But to me, as of right now, I have him in my top 8.
You said, the Luka, it does look a lot like Luka. I'm not saying he's gonna have a Luka like impact, but like watching his game, you can see the Luka influence.
It's just a goofy European white dude, high IQ game. Like, it's just everything about it to me represents Luka, just in a more athletic body. But again, when you look at Luka when he came from overseas, this is a similar build that he had.
Yeah. Where is he projected right now? Late first? Late lottery?
On Tankathon, as of right now, they got him at 19th overall.
Oh, 19th overall. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, because of all the obvious things, he's not very athletic, those types of things. That's why he's at 19th.
I don't even think it's that. They didn't have him projected top 20 before the season began. So that 33-point game really catapulted his value so far. But again, It takes
Yeah, but
time
it's
to
not
move
like
up
he
the
just hit a
rankings.
bunch of wild shots and scored 33. You can see he's a distributor. He can run the floor. I mean, he can do a lot of things. It's not like 33-point. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he got red hot and scored 33. It's like you can see how there's a lot to his game here. There's a lot to like in his game. His 6. What is he listed as? A 1 or a 3?
He's listed as of right now, I believe, as a 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Here, let me double check. He is currently listed as a shooting guard and small forward, so a wing.
Okay. But he's a guy that can handle the ball. He's a guy that can create offense for others.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure Abdullah's played overseas as well in the
What
Euro
was
League.
Luka listed at? When Luka was drafted, what was he listed as? A 3?
He was listed as a 3. Yes.
Tough player to put a position on. So ideally, if we were to trade in late lottery, top 10 or late lottery, that's a guy you'd have your eye on, correct?
100%. That to me is the guy that I would look at with our second lottery pick, which is why ideally I would probably hope for a guy like Boozer or Wilson, because I think that the 4 is the main position that you're going to want long term as your number 1 option. Like if you look at the league currently, KD is at the 4, LeBron's at the 4, Jason Tatum's at the 4. Your small forward and power forwards are usually your superstars, right? So to me, I think grabbing one of those guys is going to be your best option. Even if it's Debansta, you play him at the 3, you play MPJ at the floor at the 4, you play Yegor at the 1, you have Abdullah at the 2. Like there's a lot of routes that you can take.
Some, yeah. Now you
there's
got
a lot of routes that you can take to make that look special. But yeah, that's my sleeper of the draft right now.
Pete, I want to get your take. Dylan talked about trading back down to get into the first round as a top 10 or a late lottery pick, we'll call it, right? 10 to 14. How realistic do you think that is?
Man, it's so early. I really would. I have no idea. It's just super, super early. It sounds like a great idea. I know it's probably going to be tough, but we saw deals happen last year where it was tough also. We saw a New Orleans Wheeling deal and they got Fears and Queen, right? So I think if, the price and offers will be there and it's up to the Nets to meet it if they want that pick bad enough. I don't know if they would do it because it seems like the Nets are a little soft when it comes to that. We know that they like to make draft night trades, but I don't know if they give up a lot of assets if it's not for the exact player that they want.
Do I like the idea? I love the idea. Do I think it's feasible? Like, do I think OKC would entertain this? Yes. Do I think Sean Marks is going to do it? No, because
it's Sean Marks.
Yeah, right. Like that.
Because that's the thing too. The Nets, as of right now, I believe have 3 second-round picks. We have our own, we have Atlanta's, and then we have a worse.
No, we only
swap.
got this draft is only 2. Ours in Atlanta.
No, there is a 3rd. It's just not being shown to us because somebody else has the swap rights to it. So we're getting the least favorable out of like 3 teams. So as of right now, we have 3 seconds. They're just not showing that yet on mock drafts and stuff for some reason.
3 seconds. Like honestly, like what do you do with it?
You trade those, just like how we did this year. You just move away from them. You don't need 3. You don't need 3 seconds.
I got it here. Nets will receive the least favorable of Clippers 2026 second,
Boston,
and 2 the most favorable of Boston's 2026 second round pick, Indiana's 2026 second round pick, and Miami's second. There's so much over here. You're right. There's a lot, but you're right.
It's pretty much a 5-team swap between the Clippers, Celtics, Pacers, Heat, and Nets. So the Nets will get the least favorable of that. We'll get the Hawks second round pick unprotected, and we also have our own.
This is just like, why is there so much chaos over a second round pick? This is like 10 of your best friends fighting over a girl who's a 3. It's like, guys,
it's still a girl. It's still an asset. An asset is an asset.
I hear you. I want to take a deep dive. To me, this is trouble zone for the Nets. I want to close out with this. The Nets schedule. Let me see if I can get it up. Hang on. They could hypothetically. I don't think they will because they're terrible. But this looks like a part of their schedule where if they're going to win a bunch of games, it could happen in this upcoming show. They got back. I'll pull it up. I'll share it. Back to back with Boston. Do they get a win there, guys? In either other games with Boston?
Nope.
Home and home.
Nope.
I don't think so. No, Boston's actually playing really well as of right now. And without us getting our win out of the way, I think that the next 6 games should be losses, at least as of right now.
I'm telling you, they're going to get one of them. They're going to get.
I know.
I think they're going to win tomorrow. That's my guess.
I definitely don't think we're going to win the group stage game, but at the same time, too, I don't see us winning back-to-back games. So I don't.
We're going to win back-to-back. I think we're going to beat Boston on what is it? Tuesday, yeah. Then we'll lose on Friday. We'll lose on Sunday. We'll lose to the Knicks. We'll lose a bunch of games after that until we get to Charlotte.
Well, read the schedule so they can.
I was going to say, we also have the Pelicans coming up in the next 10 games as well.
We got Celtics.
Let me close out. Let me close out the month. Celtics, home for Celtics, at Celtics, home at Raptors, home for the Knicks. So that's a home game for the Knicks.
Yeah, I'm saying 6 straight losses right here.
Home game for the Nets. That's a home game for the Sixers, and then the Bucks. So it's Boston, Raptors, Knicks, Sixers, Bucks. Okay, I thought it was worse than this. I think they'll go 1-5 here, guys.
I would say 0-6.
0-6. Pete.
Same thing.
0-6.
Yep.
All right. That would put us at 2-17 or 3-16. Guys, that's pretty good. You can't complain about 3-16, right? Like, my only concern
you can't.
Again is I don't care if they go 0-82 as long as they keep playing the rookies. Like that's my only goal for the year. How do you know if it was a successful year? If Yegor and Drake Powell and Sarath and Wolf and who am I missing? Who did I miss there? Oh, Trae are drastically better on day 82 than they were on day 1. That's I don't care what the record is. If those guys all got made drastic improvements, they're clearly better. They've improved in several assets and several aspects of the game. That's how you mark a successful season for the Nets. That's it, right? Like the wins and the losses don't matter because they're going to lose a ton of games, but they're not playing them. Maybe that changes. Like they recalled them. Dylan just reported they just recalled them. Are we going to see more of the rookies over the next couple of games, or is it going to be the same thing? Is it going to be?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but I do doubt it. It's just.
But would you agree with me? Like
Jordy's a criminal.
That's how you would measure the season: is how much better those rookies got over.
Yes, if Yegor went from averaging 8 points the first month of the season with 3 assists, and he ended the season averaging 14 points and 5 assists, yes, I'd feel much better.
Pete, your thoughts? The rookies, are they going to play more? And would you agree with my assessment? Like that's the only way to measure if this year is successful, if those rookies developed?
I wouldn't say. I see what you guys are saying, right? It's a generalization, yes, in that way. But let's say the rookies get a little bit better, but you wind up getting, I don't know, I'm just making this up. Clax becomes like a borderline all-star, and we develop somebody else to be like a nice little role. Highsmith comes back, and he's like the perfect, sixth man, blah, blah, blah. You trade Cam Thomas, you get like another asset. I'd be like, you know what? Like, I guess considering the roster and the context, we get a top 5 pick. I would consider that a somewhat successful season. But the rookies are the most important things, right?
I think so. And you drafted 5 of them. So you knew drafting 5 guys, it was going to be tough to develop all of them because, like, there's only one basketball. There's only so many minutes. Like this, like, it never made any sense to me to draft 5 guys and try to develop them all together. It just doesn't make any sense. Like they're not getting the right attention. They're not. It's just it's too much chaos. But this is what we decided to do. All right, Pete, Dylan, guys, any final thoughts?
No, I mean I did want to talk about Claxton's progression real quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
I have his stats up here as well. Claxton so far this season is averaging a career high in points, 15.2 per game. He's averaging a career high in assists, 3.9 per game, and his free throw percentage is also at an all-time career high at 71.2%. The leap that we have seen from him offensively is exactly what we have been kind of bitching and complaining about the past 3 years. The defense, of course, it still hasn't taken the the necessary steps to get back to where he was 3 years ago. But if this is something that he can do consistently moving forward with the descending contract that he has, I honestly don't mind keeping him. Like, I've been a big Nick Claxton guy since the moment he came here, but if, like I said, I was all for trading him because of the digression to his game. At this point, whether they trade him or not, I'll be happy. Because you're going to get a really solid package back, or you're going to get, a really feasible big man in this league. Because as of right now, over his past 9 games, he's averaging 17.1 points, 7.8 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 2 blocks per game on 64.7% from the field. That is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, he's earning the contract. He's gotten markedly better this year than the last 2 years.
But wait, Clax doesn't work out during the offseason. How did this happen? I've been arguing that for years.
What, that he does work out in the offseason?
Yeah, people told me.
Oh, I've never heard anybody say that he doesn't work out.
John says that.
Come on, Dylan.
This is not the let's trash John hour. This is not. We're not trashing John here. We're not doing that.
For this time, I will, just for that.
I was going to say, honestly, I've never heard anybody say it. I also don't listen to half the people, so. But that makes sense. I mean, like I said, the improvements this year have been tremendous offensively. He looks more comfortable putting the ball on the floor. He looks more comfortable when it comes to picking up his dribble in the post and being able to find a way to get a shot off. The playmaking has been incredible this year. So to me, if this is a guy who can consistently be a 15, 8, and 4 big man, again, if that's your 4th or 5th option, that's really solid. Do I think that he's going to be a piece long-term for us in terms of winning? I'm not sure, because I still do think that you need a big man who's going to be dominant on the boards and defensively. But as of right now, I'm really excited to see what he's been doing.
All right, this is Alan, our resident Hawk fans. Can the shitty Nets please beat the shitty Pelicans? No.
Fuck off.
Wrong channel. Wrong channel. That trade, Queens looks pretty. Have you watched much Queen yet this year, Derek Queen? He's looked good for New Orleans.
He has looked good.
Yeah.
He has looked good. I mean, listen, again, this is a guy who is being compared to Sengun. Like, he has the ability to be a really good big man in this modern stage of basketball. Offensively, he is tremendously gifted. He can put the ball on the floor. He can create his own shot. He's a bruiser down low, at least offensively. He has an incredibly high playmaking IQ. Really good pick. Like, is it an overpay because of the fact that you're one of the shittiest teams in the league and you're missing out on a loaded draft class again? Yes, but if him and Fears turn out to be stars, then does it really matter for them? Probably not.
Well, hang on. What if you get the number 2 pick or the number 1 pick? They're that bad. They're going to be in contention for the number 1 pick.
Oh, 100%. And we already know how the league works. When you trade a pick and it goes into the lottery, it's going to go up.
Yeah,
it happens every fucking year.
So what I'm saying is, what if they passed up on Peterson to get Queen?
Could have, like, you never know that's gonna happen. But I
gotta
talk my shit.
You guys are right.
No, I gotta talk my shit. That Queen was my guy. That's the pick that we could have. We didn't even have to trade up to get him. Imagine we switch. I know there's a big Igor fans here on this show, but if you had Queen as your first pick at 8 and the other guys, you look at this draft totally different. And one stat, just to talk about his playmaking, he had the highest percentage of offhand passes. This is not big men. This is talking guards also. This guy is going to be an elite passer. This guy's going to be a great player. Watch it.
Mike Gamblers out there. OKC is minus 18.5 on the road in New Orleans. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Minus 18.5 on the road.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I would take New Orleans in that. It's just me. That's a lot. That's too many to add. I mean, there's a good chance they could cover it, but I just couldn't. That's a no bet for me. But if I had to bet, I got to take New Orleans to lose by less than 18.5 at home. Queen is a brutal defender. He was in college. It's probably not gotten better, but he's a good player. All right, guys.
Still young. Go ahead, Gary.
No, I'm good. Pete, you want to close this out, Dylan? You guys got anything you want to close this out with?
No, I'm excited to see what else happens. at the end of the day, I do think that if the Nets are going to be active at the deadline, you just got to maximize the value of what you're getting, right? I'm not moving MPJ unless if I'm getting 3 first-round picks, and I'm standing on that. With the way that he's played, he's worth it.
Yeah.
So if a team wants him, I want 3 firsts. If a team wants Claxton, I want 2 firsts. Haywood Highsmith, you can go for a couple of seconds. I don't care.
And then Cam Thomas?
Cam Thomas, I'll give you a bag of chips for him. I don't care anymore.
I hear you. Pete, I never got your take on this. What do you think the reasonable retail price for Cam Thomas is? What can we reasonably expect to get for Cam Thomas?
A protected second at this point. The value is done. It's over.
This is what I'm saying. There's no point. You're going to go through all of this hassle, all of this headache for another second round pick.
If I'm the Nets right now, I'm sitting him out for this season. You can walk in free agency and you can go get a league minimum somewhere else and prove yourself elsewhere. But I'm done with him. I don't want to see him in a Nets jersey anymore.
It's going to come down to whether he wants to play for another team this season, and if a team is willing to give us a bag of chips for him, right? That's literally, I could see that happening. A protected.
Am I crazy for saying I would pair a couple of our 2026 seconds with Cam Thomas to go out and grab a guy like Keon Ellis from the Kings?
Yeah, for sure. I would. I like Keon Ellis as a shooter. For sure.
He's also their best defender. But in terms of like a guy who would fit Jordy's system long term, he's still young.
Yeah,
I would go and do that.
Do they got a good relationship? Was he there when he was? Yeah, he was there. For sure.
Yeah, he was. There.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like that. All right, Dylan, I just made you GM. You can replace Sean Marks starting Monday. Which is today. It's your job.
I wish. I would do the job better. I know.
You couldn't do it worse. So yeah.
Really can. Out of the last 3 GMs that have been in New Jersey and Brooklyn, it can't get any worse. Give me the keys. I'll do it for free. You can save taxpayer dollars. You can have more money in terms of free agency spending. You don't even have to pay me. Just let me do it. I'll do this shit for free. I'll have us a ring within 5 years, and you can all thank me later.
Get us a ring in 5 years, and get us to a finals, and I'm good.
No, if you ain't first, you're last. All right. I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence.
Fair enough. Talk that Porzingis might be redealt at the deadline with the play of Okongwu. Yes, but he's got AIDS. That would be pending an AIDS test. Question is really what happens to Trae Young. He does not have AIDS, so he's more tradable, I think.
There's gonna be one day we get like a defamation lawsuit. It's gonna be fucking hilarious.
That was wild.
So in order for it to be defamation, I have to believe what I'm saying is false. I believe what I'm saying is true, so they can't hit me with defamation.
Yeah, I disavow that. Yeah.
I wasn't here when he said that.
All right, y'all. All right. Thanks for dropping on, Pete, Dylan.
Let me say one last thing, Gary. Let me say one last thing. Guys, check out my my interview with Kenny Anderson. Please check it out. The views sucked on it. It sucks because it is a really, really good interview, but there's not a lot of interest in New Jersey stuff. Check it out. See if you like it. If you don't like it, leave a dislike, whatever. I don't care. Just give it a minute or two of your time. See if you like it. And more importantly, leave a like for this stream, for my episodes, or your favorite Nets content creator. Because what people don't know is if you don't leave a comment or like, it hurts Nets topics in general. If you leave those extra things, it makes it look like there's more interest in the topic, making it easier to access these type of streams and content.
I didn't know
Facts.
That, Pete. Shout out. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Pete. All right. Pete, Dylan, when do you want to come back next? What's your schedule like for the week?
We'll figure it out. I'll let you know.
All right. Pete, as always, I'm just going to start sending you a link, Pete. Whenever you can jump on, you can jump on. Deal?
Sounds good. That was the deal.
That was the deal. I think I forgot. All right. November 17th, 2025, from Texas to the world. Thank y'all, and God bless.